monumental repertoire called for an extraordinary producer. Paul Carrasco said to me, "Wouldn't it be great if Steve Epstein could produce this project?" Of course, I said, yes, that would be perfect. I was thrilled when Steve agreed, and to have the opportunity to work with such a legend who produced so many of the recordings I grew up listening to.
I heard so many wonderful things about Reed and his great musicianship, his technique and his musicality, that I was so interested to be asked to do this recording of the Concord Sonata and the Beethoven Opus 110 Sonata. And here we are in Rockport, and this beautiful town with Reed making some beautiful music. And I am so impressed with his work. I know the Concord Sonata pretty well, and I have to be honest, the very first take he did of the first movement probably was the best performance I've heard of this piece. It made so much more sense to me than other recordings, and he has a total understanding and technique to be able to realize his intentions. So it makes my job a lot easier, and it's very difficult music.
I was in the best hands possible. Steve loves Charles Ives. He knows this music intimately, and he understands it. He knows exactly what I want, and his musical input is even more valuable than his incredible technical acumen.
Charles Ives is one of my favorite composers, and I've been really fortunate to record his First and Fourth Symphonies in Chicago with Michael Tilson Thomas, to record his piano trio, to record his Holidays Symphony. So I'm really very familiar with his work, and I've always been so moved by his music. Doing the Concord is sort of icing on the cake for me.
To be able to go upstairs and see how Steve had pinpointed the smallest possible details of these very complex scores, it was just such a reassuring feeling that I was in really good hands with this project, and that really frees me up to just be myself at the piano, express my thoughts about these pieces in a completely uninhibited way, which is, of course, the goal of this recording and of any performance that I give.
Steve hears every disparate line. He gets how all the elements in Ives' music come together, and he feels it all very naturally. He's a kindred spirit both in Ives and in Beethoven, and this is just making the recording such a joy to make. In such complex music, Steve's wisdom is immeasurable.
Working with someone like Steve has been an incredibly eye-opening experience. He is a great musician, he has an incredible ear and sense of humor, and actually the stories that he told when we would take breaks about knowing John Kirkpatrick, the man who actually championed Ives' Concord Sonata and premiered it, and was probably the most renowned champion of Ives. Steve knew this guy. Steve knew him, and recording the symphonies of Ives with Michael Tilson Thomas and a whole parade of legendary musicians that he's worked with. Just to be in the presence of somebody like this was incredible for me.